crop factor seems to be the biggest decision maker as far as, or seems to be the biggest factor, to use a better word, when it comes to people deciding what camera they want to buy or what camera they want to use for a film. I just want to say to this right now, crop factor does not matter at all. The only one instance where crop factor matters even a little bit is when you are using two cameras or more and you have to try and match footage using the same or different lenses. That is the only situation in which it matters in any sense of the word. Because then, if you're doing two simultaneous over-the-shoulder shot, you want the two images to match. So you want to try and use cameras with the same size sensor, same focal length lens, or you just use a lens with an equivalent crop factor. That's the only situation you would use where crop factor comes into it. Anything other than that doesn't matter. And also, while we're on this, full frame cameras, so 5D Mark II, III, Sony a7S, these are not industry standards as far as video goes. They have never been industry standards as far as video goes. Super 35, or the closest to that, is aps-c size sensor, so sensors like the a6300, a6500, the GH4 or Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, when you use a speed booster on them, which gives them a Super 35 size sensor, those are industry standard sizes. And also like the Blackmagic 4K production camera as well. And to show this as well, the ARRI Alexa, the original, the Red Epic, and what other ones? And also, and now the Ursa Minis, they've all got Super 35 sensors, and there's a reason for that, because it's the industry standard for film. But anyway, I'm going to get off that tangent now. Anyway, as far as sensor size goes and crop factor goes, when you are picking either a main camera or a secondary camera not to be shot at the same time as thing, but that doesn't really matter anyway, so it's only if they're shooting the same sort of shot, like a cross shot, that's the only situation which it matters. As far as choosing a camera goes, it doesn't matter. Hollywood is full of films where they've used 16mm cameras, and they are much smaller than Micro Four Thirds. They're somewhere between Micro Four Thirds and Super 16, which is the Blackmagic Pocket sensor size. But even Super 16 and even 8mm film has been used in Hollywood over the years. I'm trying to think, let's see, films like Black Swan have been shot using using 16mm cameras. I'm not sure if the whole film was shot in that, but they have used it. Other films like Lock, Stock and Two Smoking Barrels, they use 16mm film. It has been done before, and as far as sensor size goes in the digital age as well, let me think, what was it called? 28 Days Later, they used the XR, I think, I'm going to put it by here, right? This is a Canon camera, right? That used a tiny sensor. I'm pretty sure it was like a 1/2 inch sensor that was. And that was on, I don't think, it wasn't really a big budget feature film, but that was on a feature film that has become huge now. Sensor size does not matter. All that matters is how you use it. I use the Panasonic GH4 and the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera. One of the films that I'm really proud of that I worked on when I was a student was Parallel House, which I haven't posted. I'll put a link to it down below. And one of my favourite shots in that film, oddly enough, was shot on the Blackmagic Pocket Cinema camera, and it was only one shot, which was a close-up of someone's eyes opening up. And that film was shot on the 5D Mark III, that was, and my favourite shot was with the Blackmagic Pocket, so let's gotta say something. Anyway, so to reiterate, crop factor, please everyone just stop getting so caught up in crop factors and equivalence and lens focal length equivalencies. none of them matter. You know, they really, really don't matter. All that matters is how you use the sensor size that you're given, how you utilize it to its full potential. Yes, granted, there are situations where you will want a wider field of wilder frame, or you will want shallow depth of field for a specific purpose. But for general filmmaking, it doesn't matter unless you are going for strictly a strict sort of style for a certain film. It doesn't matter, you know, for general shooting, it doesn't matter. So yeah, sorry, that's a bit of a rant, but you know, I've got my. I hope I've got my point across. This is one of the reasons I'm not a director. I'm useless at explaining my point off the cuff, sort of thing. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this rant. I'll see you in the next video.